Hello, my name is Mackenzie Paquette, and today I will be discussing why military veterans deserve quicker and more efficient benefits. This picture was taken by John Moore for National Geographic. It shows Mary McHugh mourning the loss of her dead fiancé, Sergeant James Reagan, in Arlington National Cemetery on Memorial Day of 2007. Let me begin by discussing some general information on military veterans. According to the U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs, a veteran is a person who served in the active military, naval, or air service and was discharged or released under conditions other than dishonorable. In 2019, the U.S. Census Bureau concluded that there was more than 17 million veterans in the United States. VA.gov provides insight on the Veterans Health Administration, which is a healthcare system in the United States aimed at enrolling veterans into VA healthcare programs. They provide surgery, critical care, mental health care, physical therapy, radiology, and pharmacology to veterans in the United States. According to VA.gov, only 9 million veterans out of the 17 million veterans received VA benefits. That's nearly one half of the veterans in the United States that weren't enrolled in any type of VA healthcare program. This is a picture of a graph by Statistica that shows in 2019 there was 15.78 million men and 1.64 million women veterans in the United States. The United States government needs to make a push towards improving veteran benefits after veterans return to civilian life. Next, I will be discussing physical effects left on veterans. The picture above is the logo for the Wounded Warrior Project. The Wounded Warrior Project is a project aimed at helping military personnel recover from physical and mental effects left on them after combat. Military veterans experience many physical effects after and during their active duty. One physical effect veterans face is cardiac disease. The U.S. National Library of Medicine released a study conducted by Judith Pizarro, Roxanne Silver, and Joanne Praz. The study found that veterans who experience high losses in combat had a greater chance to develop cardiac diseases post-war. Their study shows that veterans who experience greater losses during combat are more likely to develop cardiac diseases after war than non-veterans. Another physical effect veterans experience is an increase in stroke. A study published by Melissa Thompson and Stephen Southwick found that veterans have an 85% increase in the chances of being diagnosed with a stroke and chronic pain. This shows that due to the duress veterans face in combat, they are more likely to develop chronic pain and have a stroke than non-veterans. In addition, veterans are more likely to die at an earlier age. The study from Pizarro, Silver, and Praz found that recruitments who enlisted over the age of 18 had the greatest risk for early death. This can be associated with how long they were enlisted and the amount of trauma they first faced during that time. The last physical effect veterans can face is injuries resulting from combat. According to the PEWresearch.com, 1 in 5 veterans say they experience serious injury while performing military duties. Veterans can experience gunshot wounds, loss of limb, head or brain injuries, loss of mobility or motion, and in extreme conditions, loss of life as a direct result of combat. Veterans experiencing a range of physical effects after and during combat, such as cardiac diseases, strokes, early death, loss of limbs, and even death in extreme cases. Veterans suffer many mental effects on top of physical effects. One mental effect they suffer is an increase of PTSD. A study posted by the National Library of Medicine conducted by Melissa Thomas and Stephen Southwick concluded that combat veterans were 3 times more likely to develop PTSD compared to non-combat veterans. This shows that combat veterans face significant trauma from what they experience in combat. Another effect they experience is an increase in suicide rates. Jennifer Steinhauer of New York Times stated that veterans are 1.5 times more likely to commit suicide compared to all civilians. This shows that the trauma our veterans face when leaving combat have great effects on them, and it's difficult for them to process their emotions and get the proper help they need and deserve. Lastly, another mental effect veterans face is an increase in substance abuse disorders. PTSD.va.gov explains that more than 2 out of every 10 veterans with PTSD also have a substance abuse disorder. This shows that many veterans use substance abuse as an outlook because they believe that is the only way to escape the reality that lives in their minds. Veterans face the mental effects of an increase in PTSD, an increase in suicide rates, and an increase in substance abuse disorders compared to non-veterans. This photo from FamilyMeans.org portrays the inside thoughts and feelings that veterans face every day. These are the effects that aren't noticeable by eye, but can have the greatest effect on them. Next, I will be telling the story of Mike Rio. CNN provides insight into the story of one veteran receiving improper care from the government and Veterans Affairs. Rio is a 51-year-old staff sergeant that was stationed in Afghanistan where he underwent firefights and roadside bomb blasts that left him with a traumatic brain injury and PTSD. Rio also suffers from vertigo, headaches, insomnia, nightmares, memory loss, and horrific anxiety that leaves him unable to work. After surviving through the most dangerous places in Afghanistan, Rio came home to fight another battle. Rio has been waiting nearly 2 years to get his claim processed through Veterans Affairs, but there has been significant delays to get his claim approved. He stated that there was loss of paperwork, long wait times for appointments, and unnecessary lab results and medication. Rio and his family currently live with his mother because Rio's disability leaves him and his wife unable to work full-time. In August of 2011, he was told his claim would be processed by the end of the year. However, that didn't happen. Rio didn't hear anything about his claim until July of 2012, when they rejected his coverage for his traumatic brain injury, even though a VA doctor diagnosed him with it. Rio plans on appealing the VA's ruling. However, that could take another 2 years to process. Mike Rio and his family are just one of the many veterans that have been placed in this situation because of the VA's insignificant processing of veterans' claims after they come home from war. Next, I will be discussing facilities and programs that need to improve for veterans. The photo I chose was the national emblem for the Department of Veterans Affairs. Facilities and programs provided to veterans need to improve. One program that needs to improve is mental health services. According to research conducted by Ronald Hester, the Department of Defense has seen an increase in suicide rates. This is due to mental health services not being in most VA hospitals and health systems. By not providing easy access to mental health services, a lot of veterans seek out their own treatment through potentially detrimental outlooks such as alcohol, illicit drugs, or in worst cases, suicide. A way to fix this problem is by creating mental health facilities in VA hospitals so veterans can get full treatment for their physical and mental health. Another program that needs to improve is the VA claims program. According to the VA.gov, there was more than 240,000 backlog claims and more than 70,000 claims that needed to be reviewed. By veterans' claims being backlogged for years, they are forced with feelings of guilt, shame, and worthlessness because they aren't able to take care of themselves or their families. This can also cause increased stress about money and financial stability because their payments aren't going through for years. A way to fix this problem is by hiring more people to go through claims and use funds from the American Rescue Plan to ensure claims will be reported back in a timely manner. To summarize this speech, I believe that veterans deserve better care from the government. Veterans face severe mental and physical effects while they protect our freedoms. Many of them continue to face battles when they get back home due to insufficient programs and facilities. Veterans put their lives on the line in battle to protect us. Now it's our turn to fight to ensure that they're taken care of when they get back on the home front. We need to take a stand and fight for the ones that bleed red, white, and blue.